I was like, I tried like going, you know,
Mhm.
but didn't work. So we'll try it again.
Man.
We'll try again.
Yeah,
I
just
feel like
trial and
there's
error.
yeah, I feel like getting a like one of those tiny
Again,
Behringer
yeah.
ones because
I
those are
feel
always like that's like a staple. All right,
totally.
there we go.
Hello, hello, everybody. Okay, there we go. How's it going?
Okay.
Happy Leap Day, February 29th, the best day of the year, every year. Um, we got Ethan and Dakota in chat
Hi,
from
hello.
Patchwork. How's it going, guys?
How
I'm
we
all right.
doing?
I'm all right.
I'm doing just fine, Alex.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Yes,
So
sir.
no, thanks so much, guys, for joining in. This is my first time having a band live on my stream. Figure we do a little interview. And
Yeah.
just want to say, congratulations on releasing the new album. The self-titled came out today. I cannot wait to hear it.
I'm excited for you to hear it, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited to see what you think.
hell yeah.
We're really proud of it.
No, it's yeah. I mean, definitely, I could tell. We've been talking for like a while, like a little while now, getting ready to do the stream, and I could tell you guys are just really passionate about this music, and yeah, I could tell for those that don't know, I did like a small creator stream a couple weeks ago on President's Day, and Patchwork was one of the songs that was played from their single "Killing Time," and so we listened to "This Is Not the Way Out" off of there, and it blew me away. And Dakota, you showed up in the chat and said that you guys had an album coming out, and so that's when we sort of got in touch after that and started working on this. So I think you guys are making some really creative, really cool industrial music with a bunch of different influences. So yeah, thanks for showing up, and I can't wait to hear this.
Dude, thank you. This is awesome.
Yeah. So we do have like a couple of questions. I figured we'd do like a quick interview beforehand, just a little get to know the band, get to know you guys, what your history is.
Sure.
Um, you guys, so you started with sort of a like a grassroots uh, label, right? You guys are the two behind Eraser.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, co-founders.
Nice.
Yes.
So can you like talk a little bit about like where that started, how long you guys have been running that, what the inspiration was to get that started?
Yeah. Um, do you want me to just say? Or,
Oh yeah, you can start.
okay. So, yeah, I mean, we were, what happened? I'm trying to bring back my brain to that time. Um, it was probably about a year
Yeah,
ago, a
about a year ago.
little,
I think I first brought up the idea to you when you had initially offered to do a collaboration with me. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
which was
Um,
January something of last year, so it's been about a year.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
nice.
Um,
that's where kind of like the idea was born.
yeah, I
And
mean,
yeah.
we were just I think it was really born out of just we kept finding ourselves kind of making a little community of people almost like just we kept um I don't know if mutualizing is a word, but we kept like mutualizing our friends, our like
Hmm.
music friends and stuff like that. We got familiar with bands, like we're both now familiar with like Atria. Um, that's the only thing that comes to my head right now. There are more. Um, yeah, but I mean, and then we both like have like that one label that we really like. I'm really into Wax Tracks and Dakota's really into the Flenser. Um, so when we were talking about that, we were just kind of kind of just nerding out, like talking at each other, like Wax Tracks is so cool, the Flenser is awesome. Um, and one day Dakota and I were talking, and she was saying like my goal is to like fucking you know start my own label and
Hell yeah,
get get something really good going.
nice.
And I was just like, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah.
We both clearly are kind of getting to the point where um we're kind of building a community, like an online scene here. So
Hmm.
like let's just fucking do it. And it was initially supposed to be for our just for our projects, which it is now. It kind of has had a little bit of an arc. That's what,
It's
but
come full
Yeah,
circle in a
yeah,
way.
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's gone full circle. Yeah, it's not Eraser Records anymore. But it was initially supposed to be for our I think one of the names um you suggested, Dakota, was Junkyard Records, like a junkyard for
Yeah,
all
that
of our
was like a early prototype name.
yeah.
Nice.
And that's kind of what the initial vision was, just a place to shove all of our stuff, because both of us had a bunch of different stuff we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan, you've done a bunch of collabs with like Reverend Lady Satan, Ghost on This Earth, all that.
Mhm.
And so we just kind of wanted a place to shove it, like a junkyard, essentially. Just a
Yeah.
bunch of ideas, just kind of mismatched all around. And
Mm-hmm. A
yeah,
real
Yeah.
patchwork, if you will.
Just kind
Yeah.
of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just say like this is us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is our sounds,
Right.
collective.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the reason I ask is like I read Needles and Plastic. It's all about the Flying Nun record label over in New Zealand, and you know it's all about like a very grassroots record label that was just sort of started out of nowhere, but ended up being like a real life music version of like Katamari, the game where like you start as a little ball, but you like roll and pick up different bands and influences and connections along the way. So
Mhm.
I think it's super cool. Like all of these like little labels and groups and collectives have their own story, and so it's great hearing yours. From when you were messaging me, I definitely thought that you guys had been around for longer than a year because you had like a real story going there. It must have been an action packed year.
Yeah, we have some deep lore that happened
Yeah.
in the fucking 8 months we've been going on.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah. I can't wait to hear the book that comes out on you guys
R-
on
re-
Eraser.
real trials and tribulations.
Definitely. Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit more about like your influences and what's driven you guys to be where you are. Like if you guys could both give me just like one like formulative record from when you were growing up, something that like really like got its hooks in you and like pushed you in some certain direction with music. Um, you know, go ahead.
I'll start. So Ethan's gonna give me shit about this, but the first record I fell in love with as a kid, and I'm sorry if you can hear my birds in the background here.
Oh, that's okay. That's a nice element.
Um, but so the first record that I fell in love with was Weezer's debut Blue album, which doesn't really show up in my music currently.
Mhm.
Um, but like outside of experimental music, my main passion is like alternative rock and emo. Um,
Hell
like
yeah.
I see American football in your collection on the wall back there.
Oh
That's
yeah,
like an
yeah.
all-time favorite of mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, but the Blue album is just one of those records that hooked me immediately and really made me fall in love with music, and eventually what made me want to start making music and
Nice.
become a musician.
That's awesome. Yeah, no shame here. I will not pass any judgment.
Dude,
I think like my probably most formative record was like "Bad Out of Hell," like Meatloaf, and just like I remember the first time I heard that song and just realizing that like a song like that can be such a journey was like eye opening for me. And you know, it
Totally.
doesn't matter how like cringy or campy the album is; it's always gonna have a special place in my heart. Um,
Definitely.
yeah, Ethan, how about you?
um, so I don't know. It's like my music listening experience kind of goes in stages, I guess. Like, there's one album that I started listening to like really early on, like right when I started playing bass. I didn't really listen
Mhm.
to music. I didn't really listen to music before I started playing music. Um, and that's Dookie by Green Day. But it's not like I'm not like super inspired by it now, you
Mhm.
know? It's just kind of like what kind of got me along.
Right.
What an album that I say really, which is it's weird because it kind of falls in a similar category to Dakota's. Um like, and again, it's probably not even in my top 10 now, but you know, what really got me into songwriting and like just crafting sound is Foo Fighters self-titled, their first album
Nice. Yeah,
with
yeah.
just Dave Grohl playing all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like, I mean, yeah, whatever. Middle school days, just I just remember walking to school listening to, you know, Nirvana and Green Day. It's Nirvana, Green Day, and Foo Fighters, and then
Hell
later
yeah.
on Slipknot. But that album particularly, um, I just like I don't know what drew me to it. I think it was just like the rawness, but it
Mm-hmm.
was the rawness, but it was like really beautiful and like kind of it was kind of all over the place, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
like as much as you want to call it like an alt rock record,
Hmm.
there's like hardcore songs on it. There's like sludge metal songs on it. Like
Yeah, and
it's
they
like
had
really,
grunge roots. Yeah, so there was definitely
yeah,
that element in there
totally.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean like I think I you know I'm really inspired by like Dave Grohl is at my roots, you know. I'm
Hmm.
not like an I'm not they used Foo Fighters used to be my favorite band. I'm not like an avid Foo Fighters fan right now, but I've been like immensely influenced. Like they've kind of seeped into my musical DNA. Just
Right.
like their writing style and Dave Grohl's kind of way of doing things.
Hmm.
Like his decisions while writing music and stuff like that. So
Nice.
probably Foo Fighters self-titled for
Nice.
me.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. And I just based off of the couple of songs that I've heard from the single that you posted, I can definitely see the parallels there with the sort of smattering of influences. Like, I mean, the Foo Fighters self-titled was such a like a transitional record that it ended up having, like you were saying, all these different influences like mixed into it, that it ends
Right.
up being like an entirely unique sound, which
Hmm.
I think, this is not the way out. It definitely has like elements of that where it feels like I could like label it with 10 different genres if I really sat down and tried to figure it all out. Um,
Yeah.
no, awesome. Thanks, guys. And then the one other thing I wanted to talk about before we really dive into the album, and then we have other questions we can talk about it after listening to a few songs. But I did want to talk about like the album art itself because I think it's super cool. I'm gonna try to pull it up, but my OBS skills are lacking. Um, but it feels like it's an album that you would find when you're like crate digging, and
Hmm.
it like it's like you're so like intrigued by it that like you have to buy the record. But I'm just wondering like what the thought process there, like with the splitting it into four parts and the sort of like
Yeah.
lo-fi aesthetic of it. And while you answer, I'm
That
gonna try to pull it up.
yeah. That um I don't know. Like
I
we
think
had
it
yeah, go ahead.
I think it kind of started when I think I suggested the idea of like a quilt of images in a way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was we just kind of wanted like a quilt of images in the way that we are patchwork and like it's all kind of patched together.
Hmm.
And I feel that the name seeps through into our style a lot because we take from a lot of influences, and just kind of patch them together to make this sort of collection of sound.
Yeah. Um and the images themselves it was supposed to be more like more images. Like I think we
Hmm.
had a few drafts that was like 8 tiles or
Yeah,
something
something
like
like
that.
that.
It just wasn't working. I like to like a lot of whatever. I'll be like watching like YouTube or something on my TV, and I like to take pictures of my TV screen
Hmm.
and shit like that. Because it adds like a weird cool effect to it, you know. Just kind of it just looks like a terrible picture, but
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
make
yeah.
something.
Kind of haunted.
You,
Yeah.
yeah, but like the whatever the lights on the screen or whatever, like if you mess with the settings and stuff like that, you may look really beautiful.
Hmm.
So that's like a lot. I'm not saying it's all like pictures of my TV. That's just an example, but I yeah, I really like messing with images and stuff like that on my phone. I have a there's an app I use called PixArt. I just kind of mess with images
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
can
I
make
have that one too, and I fiddle around with
yeah
it. Yeah,
yeah
yeah.
I just make images look weird and kind of and that actually this was like this album art was like the most effort I've ever put into album art, I think, because what I did was Dakota and I were talking, or she had the idea to have the 4 tiles like have not what were you saying? Not
Like
wire, but like
stitches.
stitches.
Stitching in
Yeah.
between them.
Uh huh.
And
Yeah.
we couldn't really figure out how to do that because neither of us know anything about graphic design.
Yeah. So I just ended up printing out a picture of the 4 tiles without stitches, physically drawing on them with pen, and then just photocopying that,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
that's the album cover.
and it sort of ended up coming across a little bit like taking a picture of a screen. Like it's got that little like bit of a imperfection with the drawing and then copying. It's like a Xerox of a Xerox sort of thing where it loses that fidelity.
Totally.
I think it's a really cool effect.
And I don't want to I just want to come out and say that I'm not a big fan of when artists like album covers that are just pictures of the artists, that
Yeah.
wasn't the original intention of our album cover. Wasn't my intention originally,
Mm-hmm.
but goddamn, those pictures are really cool of us.
Yeah.
I gotta say they're pretty neat looking.
Mhm.
So, and
It definitely has its place. Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't find any yeah, I don't know. It's different. It's different. Like if it's literally just a picture of the band, but we actually tried to like form our pictures of ourselves into like something inhumane
Right.
because
Yeah.
But yeah, so just want to say I don't generally like the idea, but I think it worked here, and
I
I
think
just
so.
couldn't find anything better. So
Yeah. No, I
that's
think so too.
what I went
I mean,
with. Yeah.
yeah. I think, like I said, from what I've heard, it matches the vibe perfectly. That sort of bleak, but also really striking and sort of aggressive contrast of colors. I think that matches perfect with what I've heard so far. But with that said, I think it's time. We've talked enough. Let's dive into the album here.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I have oops.
How are we gonna hear it through our headphones? Like,
Oh right.
What I was gonna do is I have this stream open in another window, and I have
Okay.
it muted right now, and then I was just gonna unmute the stream and then mute you guys.
there's a huge delay, but sure, I'll try that.
Or if you guys just want to like pull it up on maybe another window and hit play when
Yeah,
I
that
do.
works.
Yeah. I don't plan on like stopping the songs halfway through. I'll let the song play all the way
Yeah.
out and then we can
Yeah,
talk
sure.
about it.
Okay,
So
cool.
that might be easiest.
Sounds good.
Had not thought about that at all. These are the things. What do you do with the first time doing a live interview? But anyway, so let's get this started. First track, we've got Entry. I definitely have thoughts about some of these song titles, song lengths, and you guys said you have thoughts about it too, so we can get into that later. But let's get this started. Hitting off with Entry. Patchwork, self-titled. Let's go. Love this beat.
That's Dakota.
Dude, this is such a good first track. I love this. It's like something like elements and adding up to each other.
Yeah.
Like screeching guitar in the background is sick.
It's not a guitar.
Or the guitar, we'll talk about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Sick. That was a crazy good opener. That was like Patchwork to a T. It felt like it was
Oh
like
yeah.
so many elements sewn together like hastily and like almost like disjointed, but it had such a cool like rhythm and groove to it.
Thanks,
That was a
dude.
ton of fun.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Yeah, that's definitely a highlight in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I imagine it's tricky when you have all these songs, like what goes where in the order of the album. I mean, we'll talk about the closer because it sounds like that was a clear closer, and this feels like it was like a clear opener. Um, it was that the case? Like you guys made this, you know, like this has to go first. It's like such a perfect like ramp up.
Well, so that's why we were saying earlier about the track listing is kind of weird because my initial idea, we had a miscommunication. My initial idea was we'd make each song as we go. So Entry was the first song we wrote,
Oh, okay.
and Realization was the second song we wrote. Killing Time was was the third song we wrote, and so on. Um, it's changed a little bit now because Dakota had a
Hmm.
different idea. So then afterwards, we just kind of compromised to make small changes.
Hmm.
Um, this is the this is not the way out was initially the fourth album. Sorry, song. Um, which if yeah, we can
Hmm.
talk later about
Yeah,
like
yeah.
general like album planning and stuff like that because there's kind of a before and after in my opinion of some songs.
Hmm.
But yeah, thanks so much, chat. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah,
I
no,
enjoy that.
I mean, I hope so. It was sick. I loved all of the layers on there. Like, can you like give a rough guesstimate of like how many instruments and like layers were involved in there? Because like I could count like maybe five or six different like instruments or I don't know, lines going in there.
I use a lot of noise, so I mean, a lot of it is like that guitar you were
Hmm.
talking about.
Yeah.
That was just me messing around with my synth over there,
Oh,
my
cool.
micro
Yeah, yeah,
group.
yeah.
Um, um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dakota. So that the drum beat was made by Dakota
Hmm.
in her DAW. I think. Were you using Ableton?
Yeah, I was just using Ableton. I
Yeah.
forget which drum preset it was, but I was just using a preset that I had messed around with some of the settings with, and that just kind of came out.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the start there, it sounded like a beat that like you almost like rap over. Like I could hear it in like it almost like maybe lo-fi like Death Grip sort of style, but like
Totally.
it was a really cool like jam feel.
Yeah. But Dakota laid down that drum beat, and initially she gave me like a just like a 10-minute loop of it.
Hmm.
And I was like, all right, what can I do with this? And I added Actually, I forget what I initially added. That the intro is me messing around with my water bottle, and I made that into a loop,
Nice.
um, and yeah, I mean, I thought it was like, I think adding vocals to it would have ruined it. I mean, I think it was. I usually in my brain I usually default to maximalism,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm really glad I didn't like say like, oh, and we need a guitar here, and we need vocals, and
Yeah, yeah.
we need this crazy structure and
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. It just kind of down to bare basics, like drum beat, some synth here and there,
Hell yeah.
and then the main melody,
That
the main
piano.
yeah,
Yeah.
the main
The thing is
melodic points.
gnarly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love
The
that.
main melodic points
Uh-huh.
are the bass and the piano, which
Mm-hmm.
I actually use an electric bass on this, which I don't actually know. A lot of my Faulty Radiator uses some
Mm-hmm.
um electric bass, but I usually tend to do synth bass, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, sick. No, I totally agree with the decision to not have vocals in the front.
Yeah.
When I was like reading into like experimental music, I learned that when you have vocals in a song, that instantly becomes the subject of the song. And I think like taking them out of that was the perfect way to have this song like set the stage for everything. It's like this
Dude.
like weird landscape instead of like something that's. Oh, you see my cat back here. Where's my cat? Um, the but
Love
no,
cats.
like giving it the opportunity to like grow into the album, I think was really smart.
Dude, vocals being the main point of music, like I think about that. It haunts me.
Yeah.
I think about it constantly.
Mm-hmm.
We need to talk at some later date or something, because I mean I have way too much to say about
Sweet.
it, but I have a lot of very strong opinions on music, and
Hell yeah. And its
yeah,
believe
relationship to
yeah.
the
language, absolutely. Yeah.
I think one of the first conversations Ethan and I had was Ethan ranting about how much he hates the term instrumental music.
Yeah.
Like it's derogatory. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's like
is.
you don't
Like
call guitarless music.
exactly. Exactly. Like you don't
Accurate. Accurate. Yeah. I never thought about that.
just because a song doesn't have fucking keys on it, you don't
Mm-hmm.
call it keyboardless music.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
vocals are just one
Mm-hmm.
part of the song. Anyway, sorry.
Equal rights for instrumental music. I'm right there with you.
Real. So true.
All right. Let's move on. Next one. I can't read the full name of the song because it keeps on doing an ellipses, but it's Realization.
Yeah, we just call it Realization.
Okay. Oh shit. Oh yeah. Nice. Dude, that was sick. Like there are so many elements of this album that like feel like it's an like an industrial album from like the 90s that just got like lost to time and like we're just discovering now, and it's like been like warped and aged, and like you're trying to play it on like a record player but it like keeps like bending out of time or something. um and then there's like, I don't know, a piece of dust on the record or something that is causing like these jagged like random like sounds to appear. Oh my god, dude, there's so much creativity on this song. It like I don't know, I feel like this one showed a lot of confidence from you guys like right out the gate to like put in these crazy left turns, and like there are some weird chords in there, man. They're like that part where like that church organ came in, yeah, all in there.
All this, baby.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what the fuck a chord is. You just go boop boop boop.
Just press buttons until it sounds good, right?
No, that's I know what chords are, but that's kind of why it has not an atonal feel to it, but it like wasn't like a beautiful piano progression.
Right,
It was
right.
Definitely a very dissonant song generally.
Yeah.
I was taking a sample of a chord and just kind of
Mhm.
changing the pitch of that chord, so it's not like however long each note, like the space of each note is, like that's still gonna transpose over to like the new. It's hard to explain, but
Right.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just kind of moving the chord shape around.
Definitely.
Is pretty
Yeah.
much what I was doing. So it's not like I was carefully crafting this
Yeah.
beautiful progression or anything. It's just kind of.
No, definitely. It's not like just the shape of the chord. It's also like its place in time, because there were like chords that didn't feel like they fit the rhythm of the song, and then like the song sort of like morphed around it and like bent to fit those new instrumentations that were coming in.
That's so
That
cool,
was
man.
really, really cool. It was like
Thanks.
like with that song, like I didn't know what was coming next, but I knew whatever it was, I was gonna like it. You know, like it was like some of those chords hit like a truck and out of left field, but then after I was like, oh yeah, this does fit. Like this sounds sick. So no, it's
Thank you.
like really like props to you guys for putting a song like that together as your. That's like, so you said you made these in order, right? Like this is the second song that you guys worked on.
Number 2, baby.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that one was in order. We've messed with some of the rest of the track list in the order we made them,
Hmm.
but most of it's done like in order.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, just like entry and realization both show so much creativity. Like I would have thought that was more like made at the end of the songwriting process, just with like how like confident you guys were with like the chord changes and tempo changes. So no, this is wild so far. All right, next up we've got Killing Time, which I'm familiar with, and looking forward to hearing it again. It's gonna be like my 10th time hearing it, I think. Also, hello everybody in the chat. Sorry I haven't like talking to the chat at all. Ethan, I see you've been grabbing the questions and stuff, so thanks. But glad to see you all here. Bass. I can't get enough of this bass, dude.
Up the charts.
Number 1. I love that comment. Dude, I love that outro.
Real quick,
yeah.
everyone in chat, there's someone, the person Rat did a remix of Killing Time. It's on the it's on the single. Go fucking listen to Rat's music.
If I'm being honest,
dude's insane.
The remix he did is better than the original.
It goes hard. Yeah, I did listen to that one a couple times. It's sick. I did not realize that was the same. Yeah, I didn't know we had a celebrity in chat. That's sick.
Yeah, no. Listen. Interface 17, dude. Great EP.
Hell yeah. Is that on Eraser or is it? Okay, cool.
No.
Oh no,
we don't have it on like our Bandcamp page.
Oh, okay.
You
gotcha.
can find it anywhere. Go listen to.
Sick.
Go listen to Rat. So,
hell yeah.
Anyway. Time.
So like listening to this one in sort of like the context of the album, it feels more like everything was sort of like coming together now, and like this is like the first like really coherent song of the record. Like it feels like there were like sort of fragments sort of floating in space for the first 2 records with like those like disjointed and discorded chords, and they sort of pulled together for this song, and this is like the first like real like statement of the album. So it's really cool hearing it in sequence.
Yeah, it's a little more focused. This song particularly, I know you said you want to talk about influences and stuff like that. A lot of songs, like I don't like ripping off artists or anything like that. However, for a lot of songs, I will have like a direct like sort of like inspiration of like I'm thinking about this other song while I'm doing it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this isn't a rip off, but I was like, it just kind of came out of me like while I was adding on. Dakota made the drum beat, which is fucking insane. It's a great beat,
It's such a
so
jam,
good,
dude. Yeah.
such a jam. Um, and she made the bass, which is like that's like all I had to do was shape around it, pretty much with my vocals, guitar, and some synth, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Did I even add synth? I don't think. I think I just did guitar and vocals. But "Dig It" by Skinny Puppy was really like just kind of reverbed out vocals and like that like kind of like classic rock and roll guitar, but in a
Mm-hmm.
like a just fucking like bleak ass
As
environment.
deep as
Yeah,
dark as
yeah,
possible. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right. Um, but which is weird because like Skinny Puppy, like that's all about, or that song in particular is all about the groove and the percussion, but that
Mm-hmm.
didn't even come from me. That was Dakota. So it just
Yeah.
kind of like formed in to be sort of like
Right.
inspired by "Dig It" by Skinny Puppy, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know if Dakota's heard, but yeah,
No,
If I
I
have, I don't remember it.
great
I listened
song.
to one Skinny Puppy album, and I've been meaning to revisit them for forever. And Ethan's been trying to make me, and I need to.
I know.
Viva Sex 6.
Yeah.
Everyone in chat listen to Skinny Puppy now.
Ethan did warn that a big part of this would be talking about Skinny Puppy when were first talking about this interview. So
Yeah.
here it is. No, so I love with that song like how dark it is with those drums and that bass, but then also it's like accessible. Like it's like you can like dance around to like I love like moving around to that song just like with the groove and the rhythm of it.
Yeah,
Um,
dude.
yeah, it was it's definitely like a single on the album. It feels like a real proper song. It I like it's I don't know. It feels like it's sort of like Foo Fighters esque, where it has like these different influences, but it also is still like accessible and like something that like I want to listen to. Does that make sense? Like it has
Yes.
that like accessibility to it that is really refreshing when you have these experimental and industrial influences. So
Yeah. I think I think it's my favorite on the album just by default. It's just, as a song, I think it's just done the best. It's just so directed, and it's so not one dimensional, but just kind of
It's organized. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's the
Mhm.
most structured song on
Yes.
the album
directed.
for sure, other than maybe This Is Not the Way Out.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
both of
Um,
those are like the most structured, and that's kind of why we picked them for the singles.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to give it to "This Is Not the Way Out" because that one just blew my mind the first time I heard it. But I
that's
love this song.
that's what most people have been saying. They like that like their favorite on the singles is "Not the Way Out," which I was not expecting at all, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's really cool.
I think well, we'll get to it. We'll talk about it when it gets there. But I definitely have thoughts about that song.
Yeah, dude.
All right, next up we've got "Knife Play." Oh shit, dude, this beat. fucking sick. Oh my god, dude. Oh man. I was looking forward to this album for a reason. Oh my god, dude. That was
Hell yeah.
so good. That beat. Is that B-52s? Dead Kennedys? Like, you guys pulling in that, or like
That's
I
not where
felt
I
like
was
that.
thinking, but like, if you want, yeah.
I felt like that like surfer rock like feel to it, but like inverted and like bizarro world surfer rock. I don't
Weird.
know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Sure.
fine. I'm fine with it just being me.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
that was incredible. That beat was so much fun, and then the like
Dude.
the fuzzy bass. Oh my god, I'm gonna be listening to that so many times. That was
Big
so
shout
good.
out to Ethan on the bass line. That's one of my favorite
I-
things he's ever written.
I have a cool story about that, but first off, I want to say uh, another shout out, Bootsy from Sleeping on
Oh,
Stardust.
absolutely.
This song in particular was like just going through the mixing process was an absolute bitch, and I just couldn't. There's just so much going on in the song
Hmm.
that I just couldn't get it to sound like it just kind of sounded like a jarbled mess. But every time I'm hearing it on, because it's been some time since I actually like sat down and listened to the album, um, it sounds really glued together and good.
Yes.
And this is Bootsy from Sleeping on Stardust. Again, listen to Sleeping on Stardust. Mastered it. So he made it, that's why it sounds
Mhm.
listenable. It's because of Bootsy. Like the
No,
the
that's
mix was
sick.
the mix was okay, but
Uh-huh.
like
Bootsy
Bootsy
really adds another level to the record, I think.
Hmm.
really helped us out here with this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
This song would not have this album would not have sounded good if I had tried to master it. So
Nice.
I'm really happy when we went with Bootsy. About the bass, that is so fucking weird. What you can fake,
Yeah.
and
When you play
like
with enough knobs, right?
people think you need like super crazy expensive gear to sound really sick.
Mhm.
What that was wasn't even a synth. It was I actually sold it. It was like the shittiest like beginner, like literally like beginner keyboard
Hell
that
yes.
I got. Like it literally had like a like one of those like learn to play like
Mhm.
keyboards like for kids.
Yes.
Someone scammed me and like said, "Oh, this is a synth or whatever." And I
Hey,
spent
if it could produce
$6.
that, it was a synth. Yeah.
What I did was I ran it through my pedal board,
Mhm.
specifically my MD2 pedal.
Mhm.
Now I'm pointing to it right there.
Okay. Yeah.
The mega distortion just kind of messed with the EQ on the pedal, and like just played the lower notes and like that came out, which is crazy because like I'm not like all into self-praising and stuff like that, but that is one of the coolest one of the coolest, not just like bass lines but melodies I've written.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
melody
yeah.
that melody wouldn't really work in the context of if it was like a guitar or like a clean piano, you know, or something like that. But
Right,
just
right.
like dun 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 dun,
No,
in
it was
that con
sick. And the
in that
crunch that you got with the production, it all worked perfectly with it.
I have no idea how it did, but
Can't be can't be done again. Can't be recreated. This is a one-time effect.
it's funny. It's funny because you're what you're saying is true. It can't be recreated.
Yeah.
I've sold that keyboard. It's probably not being made anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I don't yeah. I don't
Mm.
know. It was super weird. I was so strange. I was thinking about when I was writing that you know, adding on to Dakota made the beat. I was thinking about a lot of Filth Pig ministry,
Okay.
just like kind
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
like super like really, you know, in
Mm-hmm.
your
Hit
face
you
and
over the
like,
head with it. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but at the same time like I don't know if drudgy's a word, like just like dreadful and
Mm-hmm.
really like sludgy and just
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like
Yes.
slow, like making something that sounds kind of like slow and low, but to
Mm-hmm.
like a super fast paced like thrash
Yeah,
song,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh, yeah, I could totally hear that in like a stoner metal riff, but
Yeah, yeah,
like obviously drawn out. But so you guys just like took that and compressed it into a 3-minute song. Definitely, I hear that,
yeah.
100%.
That's definitely our punk song, I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
guess.
No, that was sick. That was so
I
good.
feel like we would have a fun time doing that one live if Patchwork shows come about.
Yeah,
You guys got to
I
do
do.
an East Coast tour if you do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely, I would be front and center. That would be so
Do,
sick.
do you have anything to note about that song, Dakota? I just like I feel like I had. Oh yeah, sorry. The big thing to note is that that's the only song that Dakota does vocals on.
Well, I have the spoken word part, and this is not the way out.
Oh right,
But
yeah, that's true. That's true.
um, anyone who knows me knows that my voice is generally pretty monotone, like you're hearing it. Um, and I can't sing very well. But the way Ethan kind of worked on the vocals with some of the effects, and then the way Bootsy mastered it, it works really well.
Yeah, yeah, it
Nice.
does.
Yeah, no, it
Totally.
sounded great. And like you guys you've talked about the mastering a bit, and like I do want to touch on that a little bit before we move on, because like that was another like big takeaway that I heard when I read Neils and Plastic and talking about like underground grassroots labels and indie production. Um, I think it's one of the things I'm most excited about with like underground and small creators today is that, you know, A, we have the internet, and B, everybody in some capacity has access to like these higher level like production equipment and software. And so, you know, if you have the time, patience, and you know, finances, it's possible to, you know, hire somebody or, you know, make connections with somebody that can do this production for you. And so like I think like we're entering like almost like a golden age of being able to you know, create music like this. And so it's just so excited that like you guys have the inspiration and the creativity, but now we can also connect that with somebody that can like bring the music to life and like have it come out in this like incredible final form. So it's just such a like cool time to be alive. I don't know. It's just I'm so inspired by this music. It was so cool.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
music's just becoming more accessible to make in general.
Hmm.
It's just a really cool concept that anyone can pick up a laptop and make an album in
Exactly.
like,
Literally.
even if you wanted to do it in a day, you could do it.
Hmm.
And it might be of somewhat quality, you know?
Yeah.
And it can sound good. Anyone can make good sounding music now because every iPhone comes pre-installed with GarageBand.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, definitely. So yeah, that one was oh man, good shit. Yeah, I'm loving this so far, guys. I won't lie. This is kick ass. Um,
Thank you.
all right, next up we got Dreamland.
Yeah.
It is gone. It has gone. There is nothing there. blown by the storm to our window pane. Only the night, the chill sea air, and the voice was sorrowful. Safety lies in circles. Suddenly you smell something burning. There beyond the window pane, through the withered and rattling pine, a wee vase spangled with silver rain, lovely and wan, stares down the line. But what lurks in darkness? Oder die merkt nicht. Only you have to know the difference between daydreams and real things. You can touch me, I can touch you. You shall learn whether it is better to reason or to be perverse and honest. But the traveling through it may not, dare not open with you. The poor soul cannot best if you weep. They will come back and beg you to make them.
Loving the samples on this one.
And thus the sad soul that here passes beholds it. Look, if this happens, you will sicken. Die. Their lone waters lone and dead. What is there that cries in the wind and the streaming rain? The papaya had conceived in those seen that the unexercised lady would find it difficult to leak into the room. After these precautions had been taken, he had paid the lady the compliment of fainting from the effects of his first supply, and now that he had come to, he intended to find out few things he felt he had a right to know. In fact, there's no telling what you might think. Passing close by the beauty on its way to the what is there that cries in the wind and the streaming rain? Dreamland.
Dude, that cutout is so sick.
And never home came she. Congeal, madam, congeal, Protego Gorgoni. You have drenched me in mine for 203 years, madam. Tonight you have had your last drench. Subject to her own dark laws. The sight was so unexpected and so terrifying that he fainted. This asks neither stall nor groom, never runs a bill for hay. Dreamland.
Oh, man. All right, so I mean, the name of that one was perfect. That was like it felt like. I mean, that was also the one that I had the most clear imagery of so far. Like, it felt like I was at like a train station, and it was like pulling away slowly, and it was like this train that was going to some dreamland or some like horrid nightmare land that was called Dreamland.
Yeah.
But like it had like those voices that, you know, sometimes I don't know if it's just me, but like I hear like voices in my head when I'm going to sleep, and like you have like your little like subconscious like connecting with like you start like almost like half dreaming and like hearing random like clips and words. Maybe it's just me, that's fine, but like it definitely like got that vibe of like going to sleep and like hearing voices or something.
Get yourself checked, dude. It's not
Yeah.
normal.
But no, like it definitely like had that like surreal vibe. It like
Man.
it like started like picking up at like around the halfway part mark. It was sick. It had like that really cool like rhythm and like the crushing. I don't know like what sound that even was, like white noise, but like chopped into like a really loud construction equipment sound or something.
Harsh fucking noise.
No, it was sick. That one had it was like a really mellow song, but it felt like there was a lot going on, like mellow compared to Knife Play.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I like, that contrast of, going right to Knife Play, just like, and then how the song kind of starts. Like, I know we're stopping in the middle of each song, but if you're listening to it
Yes.
just as is, the transitions are really important, because like after Knife Play just kind of stops, it just goes boom, boom, boom,
Yes,
and then
yeah,
just kinda,
yeah.
and you kind of just enter, the song. That song was kind of difficult for us. That song was pretty much all me. I kind of made the song, and Dakota was trying ideas on top of it, which actually ended up being another song on the album, Just One. So I guess they came out of they both came out of the same session. But yeah, I was just it's so weird, because that, like, even though it creates such a, I'm not trying to, whatever, for lack of a better term, like, kind of, I say lack of a better term, but I didn't even have a term to say. Just say
A term. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to. Okay, I can't even fucking think right now.
That's cool.
Anyway, not
So-
trying to compliment myself here.
Dude, I get
But
that.
I-
It's hard. Yeah. No. Toot your horn, man. You guys earned
Okay.
it.
Just can't fucking think. But I think that the song is, like, the mood of the song, it's really it gives you so much imagery, and it's so
Definitely.
cohesive almost.
Yeah.
It's really cohesive, but it's interesting because I made it out of like old drum machine samples. All the drums, that's just an 808 kick, and some pitched hi-hats from some other old drum machines. But it's so fucking creepy. Like, it's just
Yes.
like, while I was mixing it, I like actually felt scared. Like, it would just, the sound is just, it's just incredibly unsettling.
Yes,
to
absolutely.
to a point where it was like I wanted to turn it off almost at sometimes. And I made it. I made it. I don't know what, like, but
You didn't know if you were gonna play it and like hear like another sound that you didn't put in there. Like if
Yeah.
the song was gonna take on a personality of its own.
Right.
Yeah.
But Dakota's big contribution to this song was picking the samples.
Nice. I have a lot of questions about those samples. They are creepy.
yeah. Go talk about it.
Yeah, so I just kind of found that sample on YouTube through this site called Samplet, which just kind of like you can throw in these filters and it pulls up a sample for you.
Oh, cool.
And so I found that spoken word part, and I just knew that needed to be something. And it just really works for that atmosphere, and it's so creepy and haunting.
Yes. Like I was saying, I had very clear imagery in my mind when I was listening to the song. Like it definitely felt to me like a train station with the train pulling out of a station, and a lot of those samples were like voices coming over the intercom and saying things that just didn't make sense, and like saying it like it did make sense. So it was like a really cool like just picture that formed in my mind.
That's exactly what I was going for.
Nice. Well, mission accomplished. That was so cool.
You're very good at listening to music.
Thank you. Yeah, dude, I can't make it, so I listen to a lot of it.
Fair enough.
What I wanted to talk about, like after this song, you guys. So you're saying you made this sort of track by track up to a certain point, and this is like, is this the first like true album that you've put together, the two of you, or have you like made an album on your own in the past, or
As Patchwork or
just this
separate?
in general? Yeah.
So both of us have projects. Both Dakotas is my solo project.
Hmm.
That's my thing. I have an album out on that. I'm not the most proud of it, but you can go listen. People seem to
It's
like it.
it's incredible. It's so good.
Um,
So good.
but yeah, I released a split last year with another artist called SD Lovecraft. That split I think is pretty good. Um,
Oh, OG Eraser Records release.
oh yeah,
Our
one of
only
Nice.
the first.
our only CD that's sold out. We
Oh
don't
yeah.
have any more
Nice.
copies. Crazy. No one's bought our CDs except for that one.
That's sick.
But yeah, so I make music on my own, and then so does
Mhm.
Ethan, and that's kind of how we got acquainted with each other.
Gotcha.
Um, Ethan has a few different projects. Faulty Radiator is kind of his main one.
Nice.
Um, and
Sick.
then he's also got Bottle, which I'll let you talk about that.
Well, Bottle's just me. Like it's just my producer name. You know,
Mhm.
like I want to do so much stuff that I just like. All right, I guess I'll release under this name. You know, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Faulty Radiator is like my fake bands. You know, it's just
Mhm.
like me. It's just me.
Right.
It's my Nine Inch Nails. I'm the Trent Reznor of Faulty. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Faulty
Bottle is
Radiator.
like your
Bottle's me.
the
Yeah,
fall off, the other stuff that like you don't think fits that persona, but like is the
yeah,
other like stuff that you still want to put out.
yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah. What was I going to talk about? It was about Dreamland. Um, it's not about the production.
Well,
Oh
so,
yeah,
oh,
the album
mhm.
we should mention was originally a collaboration album between our two projects, Faulty Radiator and both Dakotas. But then I was just like talk about influence and inspiration. I was like, huh, Ministry is a thing, and then Revolting Cox is a thing.
Mhm.
But it's like the same people, you know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
their side
yeah.
project.
Uh-huh.
What if we had a Revolting Cox, you know? So so I was just
What if we had revolting cocks? What a great
what
sentence.
what if we
Yeah.
did? What
Yeah.
if we did? I'm not telling anyone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so then we were just like, let's make it another band. And I kind of didn't I was the one who had the idea, but I initially like was hesitant on doing that because I'm
Mhm.
so conservative about audience and stuff like that. So it's like, well, if we have a whole other band, then we're gonna have to build up from the bottom, you know,
Right.
and like we're not
Yeah,
gonna have
yeah,
any
yeah.
listeners, stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. But it just needed that because the album doesn't sound like our other stuff, you know. Maybe it
Mhm.
sounds like, you know, you can hear the influence and stuff like that, but you know, that none of those are Faulty Radiator songs, you
Yeah.
know. None of
Right.
None of
those are
those sound like
none of the
anything I've done.
yeah, none of
Mhm.
those are both Dakota songs.
I think it's kind of like the perfect meshing of our styles and our
Yeah.
sounds, and
Mhm.
just it's a patchwork of both Dakotas and Faulty Radiator, and it's everything we do.
I think it's more
Nice.
than that. I think it's more than
Definitely.
that.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's
I
more
think
than
I
the sum
think
of
I
its
think it
parts, and
make
it's its
I,
own thing.
Mhm.
yeah, I think it makes its own thing, sort of.
Hell yeah. No, I totally agree so far. And the reason I was bringing it up is like it feels like there's a lot of thought that went into the pacing of this album. Like knowing more about how you guys created this and like the fact that you created these song by song. Did you sort of like go into a song like this and think, well, if this is gonna be on an album, like after Knife Play, maybe we have like a bit of a come down song, and then like that's what started Dreamland, or was it just sort of like purely coincidental?
Well, can you rephrase the question? Dakota, did you understand the question? If you did, answer.
I think he was asking like, were we thinking about the sequencing of the album when we were making it? Um,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I wasn't, and that's kind of where the misunderstanding came in with the track listing.
Yeah.
Um, so we had the idea in mind initially that we were gonna do all the tracks in order,
Mhm.
but
Right.
I forgot about that. And so when it came to us putting together the track list, and I go, so do you have an idea of what order we're gonna put everything in and how it's cohesive?
This was
Yeah,
like
we
this was
already
like
did have
2
that.
months.
Yeah.
This
This
was
was
like
like
two.
in December.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so great.
And we uploaded it in January.
Uh,
We were completely finished with it in January. Um, yeah, I'm always thinking about
mhm.
like I write music for albums, like in like full
Gotcha.
releases.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
you know you're not gonna see me putting out a single song, you know.
Mhm.
even on my singles, I have like 3 songs and stuff
Nice.
like that. Like Killing Time, we had 3
Mm-hmm.
songs. Not saying that I make all the decisions, of course. I
No,
run
no,
the
no. That's but I think
that,
that's a
but
great way to look at it, and I think that putting that's almost like a pseudo restriction that you're putting on yourself when you're writing a song. Like
yeah,
if you're trying to think, okay, this song should fit in this part of the album, putting that like restriction on what the song should sound like, I think breeds more creativity and like allows for like more variety throughout the album.
well,
So,
I feel like that's almost like I don't know if I see it exactly that way because I feel like almost just writing songs for singles, like it's
mhm.
almost a weakness. It's just like it's like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that pop artists would
Hmm.
do. And I'm not saying like fuck pop music. I hate
Hmm.
pop music. Like I like writing with structure. I like
Uh-huh.
writing with melody and hooks and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But that's just not how I think.
Yeah.
I don't think let's do it one at a time.
Hmm.
Let's put it out and then our album will really just be a mixtape of like all the songs I've made. Like I want to make like a full release.
Hmm.
I want to make a full thing and all the songs support each other equally and
Definitely.
you know, yeah, it all there's not like the single on the album that like
Hmm.
it's really what everyone's listening for, and they kind of just like skip through the other ones or shuffle past them.
Right.
All the songs are equal in that they all equal up to, one thing, one expression, and that is the whole album. So
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
kind of how I usually go about that's usually always on my mind when I'm
Hmm.
writing music and stuff like that. So
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, if you wrote for the single, this whole album would be, filled probably with like Killing Times and This Is Not the Way Out. You wouldn't have like the weirdness and the sort of the overall structure that you get from songs like Entry and Realization, where it really feels like you're like building into something and like flowing into a larger work. So
we
yeah.
certainly never we certainly never would have written the last song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. So I think that's why it like breeds creativity. Like you want to fill the gaps, and so you're writing songs to fill those gaps. So that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next up, we've got This Is Not the Way Out. Let's go.
Hey yo.
Chord is so sick. Oh man. I just get lost in this one, dude. Those guitars, man, they take me away.
Awesome.
Yeah, that one is just great job on that one. Honestly,
you.
like that one
you.
blew me away when I heard it. I think like the biggest thing, and like it's like what I put in the little like teaser for this like interview was like that part of the song where it starts getting louder, but it like does it in such like a staged approach that like when it actually fully unveils itself with like the full force of those guitars and all the production, it like surprises you because you think that it already unveiled itself, and then it just goes like 10 steps further, and just becomes like an absolute torrential downpour of guitars and screaming and yeah, it's exactly like I was telling you guys, I had like a shit week at work. This is the sort of song that I want to put on to just like get all of that frustration out. So thank you for
Cool,
putting
man.
this into the world.
Yeah.
Thank you for loving it and listening. Really.
Fucking awesome. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Hell yeah.
Loving this response.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it was so good. So like we talked like a little bit about the production here, the like the guitars and the drumming. Like I think one like a cool element of this song is like the sort of bit crushed element of like the bass and the drums. When it gets to like that simple minimalist part, it still feels like you're saying, like it feels like you're playing everything on like a cheap toy drum set or something.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's a really cool effect where when everything is minimalist, it's sort of like nostalgic almost.
That's really great to hear because that's like I don't know, like when you're demoing stuff, it tends to be like it's just kind of like bare bones music, you know? It tends to be when you fully go and, you know, form the song, it tends to be a little bit different than what your initial intention was.
Hmm.
You know, like it tends to either grow or maybe it's just a little bit different with someone else's influence if it's like a band or something.
Hmm.
But I remember when I was first making This Is Not the Way Out, like now a year ago, I wrote this song, like pretty much.
Right.
That's that's exactly what I was intending. I wanted the I wanted there to be two drum tones, I guess is what you'd call it. Like I wanted it to kind of sound like live drums during the choruses when, you know, I'm screaming and the guitar's getting distorted. But I wanted the initial drum beat, like the intro and the quiet parts, I wanted it to be like this is obviously a drum machine, you know, playing
Right.
these parts, you know,
Yes.
just like very, very bare bones, like basic beats from a you know, a drum machine. But I kind of forgot about that, you know, and then you just reminded me, like that's just kind of so cool to see that my idea still lived on, you know.
Yes.
Almost.
Yeah.
It
It
kind of
sort of
came around full circle.
right. It plays into like I was saying earlier. Like there are elements of this album that feel like it's an industrial record that was like dug up from the 90s or like is being played on a like an old record player or something. Like you get that like nostalgic like feel, that connection to like that old you know, it's old now, but you know, like initial like pull of that like industrial sound. It feels like properly aged and warped, and it fits perfectly with the music that you guys are making. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, that was a ton of fun. Next
Yeah.
up, we've got Dead End, and so like ending out the album here. I'm really interested to hear sort of the two of these three songs are by far the longest on the album. And I love long songs. I love like songs that you can really get into and set into the groove. So I think we'll have stuff to talk about here. But yeah, let's get into it. Dude, this is so metal. Dude, this is industrial dance yourself clean. Oh man, what a wild idea for a song, man. I love how you guys play with song structure. Like
Thanks, man.
that was such a cool build up and resolution. It felt like it was a very like slow, gentle like mountain that we just crossed over. Oh man, I love that. Um, yeah, I like about halfway through when those like when the drums started coming in and like after that like bass had been going for a while, like that bass like dun 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 dun, it was sick. I was like this. It scratched the same itch for me as like LCD Sound System, which is such a weird connection for me to have. Like, I don't know where that came from, but like once I thought of like, wow, this is like it's almost like a like industrial dance yourself clean with like how like patient it is with the build up, but then like rewarding it is once everything is like clicked into place and like the bass and all the like other instruments, the drums are like going together in time. It was really really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
thank you.
Really good. You like it?
If anything, I'd like to talk about the guitar parts on that song. So the main, like, really dissonant guitar part. So I'm tuned to E E E E E E.
Nice.
So during the making of that song, I was listening to Sonic Youth's first LP a lot. Confusion is Sex, incredible, incredible album, one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
And I was also listening to Glenn Branca's The Ascension. Awesome album as well.
Okay.
But so I was
not familiar with
generally
that one, but yeah.
very good. But so I was generally into the no wave scene at that point and just really wanted to make something with that super dissonant but also rhythmic sort of thing. So that's where I kind of got the idea for that chugging sort of bass line, combined with the big dissonant chords.
But then, like, where did the like the song length come into play? Like, did you just like get really into that sound and like just keep going? Because like I could have listened to like another 6 minutes of that, like just like the chugging sound and all of the other like dissonance playing together. It's like you get into such a groove with it that it's like, you know, it's hard to see like where the song should start or end.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like you said, we play with song structure a lot, and I'd credit that a lot to Ethan.
Yeah.
I just kind
I
of send him stuff, and he puts it together really well.
I ended up with that song. I ended up structuring it, and I had a lot of trouble with that song. It still might be my just by default. I like it. I think it's good. I like it more now, but it like making it, I was like, I don't know about this one. Like this is like probably the worst one out of the bunch. Just because like it feels, I don't know. I get time moves your perspective on shit and stuff like that. But like initially, like it kind of felt like super disembodied. Like I just like, what is this? You know, not in a good way though. Just like this is like, just like putting really good ideas together, but they don't mesh. You know, not in a good way, but they do now. But I'm saying like when
Right.
we were making it like this really like those chords are awesome that Dakota did and everything. And I was really into. I had a literal pots and pans setup where I just grabbed pots and pans and I set up 2 mics and that was my drum set. So that's what a lot of the percussion was until I was like, okay, this
Literal
doesn't
pots and
sound
pans.
this doesn't sound good. I need to add a drum machine. So that's why there's a drum machine in the song. I kept trying to make the pots and pans work. They didn't.
Gotcha. Did they make it onto the track? Like, are they existing in the background?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
You can hear the down, down.
Oh,
You
okay.
can
Yeah.
hear them
Yes.
the whole
Yeah.
time.
That's it. Okay. Yeah.
The whole time. Yeah.
Uh,
Those are the pots and pans. But ow. But yeah. So that song structure just kind of why was it like that? I don't know. I guess I just had to like I don't like because it's not. I feel like I did the lyrics later and everything. I don't know. I guess I just wanted.
Yeah.
Just how it came out, man.
Yeah. No, that's fair. No, it's just like
I mean,
on the like in the flow of the album, like yeah, it has lyrics, but like they're so alien sounding, like they're so processed and like I don't know, like I had a hard time like making out exactly what was said. So like it sort of became an instrument in its own. Like this would I would classify as much as it would offend you, instrumental music. Like it's like adjacent, you know? And like with the way that the album or the song builds up and sort of like chugs along, but like in like a almost like stoner metal way, just like a bit faster and more like processed. It felt I got similar to vibes to like the opening of the album Entry, where like it felt like I was in a really strange landscape, and like I feel like we'll see by the end of this album, but I feel like between Killing Time and This Is Not the Way Out, that's like the proper like coherent part of the album, and then like we're back into sort of like experimental territory, and like playing with song structure, these song lengths, and like you're sort of like well into the album now. You're into this like bizarre space. That's what it felt like to me. Like it's very like dark and mysterious, but also like ethereal and outstretching, and you're like looking out into infinity.
Cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, that song's definitely a weird one.
Yeah, yes, that's another way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Just One.
Yeah.
Yeah, the penultimate track on the album. Dude, this is sick. Fucking sick. I don't know, man. I thought This Is Not the Way Out would have been the song that I would have wanted to hear the most live, but like this one in a concert would go so hard. Like
Interesting.
it
Yeah.
would be so cool.
Cool.
No, I love the repeated lyrics and just saying it over and over. You're no one, just one. Just
Yeah.
like really fucking grinding it into the ground. Like
Yeah.
the riff in the background is so tight. That was so good.
This is another Sonic Youth inspired song.
Yeah, not surprised.
I was listening to Evil,
Mhm.
their third album. It's
Nice.
more melodic.
Hmm.
Yeah, kind of that transitional state for the band.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of where my mind was, I guess. And then yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you were talking about with Dead Ends, like you're saying, oh, the metal guitar, and I'm kind of like, what? Like, it's not really metal to me, but it's weird. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting because I kind of come from metal and stuff like that, and like I was, when I was learning guitar, and I was really into metal music, and I was all like about chugging riffs and
Yes.
going in
Yeah,
and
yeah.
drop B,
Uh-huh.
hell yeah. Um,
Right.
but
It's
it's kind of
very
it's like kind of formed its way into my musical
yes.
language.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
No,
like I never thought about it like that. It's like,
yeah.
oh wow, it still comes through, even though even though in my mind this is like a fucking like a droney like Sonic Youth song,
Right.
like an emotional Sonic Youth song. My like the I guess the influence still
Yeah,
comes
the
through.
roots are still there. Yes.
It's become instinctual to me to like add that stuff. I never thought about that. That's super interesting.
Yeah,
Anyway.
like I wouldn't define obviously I wouldn't define this as a metal album, but there are definitely like riff adjacent elements to it. Like with how when you're playing the bass here, it just like that like repeating line is so satisfying and it fits perfectly with the song.
There's no bass on this.
No
song.
bass. Okay, I'm glad you're here. This is like
Yeah,
I
that's
always
just empty
yeah.
guitar.
It's just guitar chugging.
Yeah. Same
there had
thing
to
with
be-
Dead End.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Same with Dead End.
There- Well, I mean, there's synth bass on both. I think.
Yeah.
But it's not like I was like don't don't.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's synth bass on this song. I don't know. Maybe there was. I think maybe the guitars were creating enough low end where it didn't even need to be. There didn't even need a bass. But anyway, yeah. What do you think about that song, Dakota? We haven't talked about that one a lot.
I think that one's probably my least favorite on the album. It's a very different song tonally, I feel, but also it fits in pretty well.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that song is the way it transitions from Dead End, where they kind of have that same bass riff, but it's not a bass, it's a guitar.
Yes. Yeah.
They just kind of chug into each other, and it all just kind of works.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean one thing.
Yeah, that one's very good.
Yeah, one thing about this album is I cannot wait to, and I know I'm butchering it by stopping it between each song and then we're talking about it, but I can't wait to hear it all and like hear it in one fell swoop because it really does feel like a lot of thought has gone into the progression here and like it's not I wouldn't define it as conceptual, but like definitely it feels like it was designed to be one complete piece. It's really props to you guys for putting together like a full work like this. It's not easy making an entire freaking album. You guys are like this whole thing has been like varied and like it feels like it's been a journey so far, like with the different like genres and like moods that we've been through. So yeah, just really impressed so far.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, and next up we got the big finale, which I've been looking forward to. The Devil, the 7-minute closer, wrapping us up here. So let's see what's in store for us.
There's always
Dude, this build up is so good. This is amazing. Dude. That was sick. I love the sample there. Wow. That was a hell of a closer. Jesus, dude.
Thanks, man.
Oh, dude. Oh, both you guys. That was incredible.
Thank you.
I
Much
love
appreciated.
and I heard this on Just One too, but I forgot to mention it. Like there's like stuff going on in the background that induces this sense of like paranoia with your music. And it was definitely like all over the place on The Devil, where the production put the pounding rhythms and guitars so far forward in the mix that like you sort of have to like lean in to hear the samples and the different like sounds in the background, and then like when they change or when the sounds that are forward in the mix change, it like scares you, it spooks you. I would have thought that the devil would have been the one that you were scared to produce or finish working on, because there's so much stuff going on here, and it has that like same sampling as Dreamland.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
It's yeah. How we made that song was kind of weird. Our initial idea was to um have it be just like a drone song, just but you know, Dakota is the drone girl after all.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a I'm trying to kind of a drone novice. I haven't really listened to a lot of drone, so I like tried to make something. I wanted it to be like I didn't want to do drone metal. I wanted it to be like electronic drone sort of. So I made some drones with my synths, and I was like, this is pretty good. Yeah, you know, we're doing it, I guess. And then I just like was messing around with samples, and other sequences on my synthesizer, and I was like, oh well, I kind of want to make this like an EBM song now. So then I kind of then I guess I was just like, my brain was just like, I don't want to think about this too hard. Why don't we just do both simultaneously? And
Hell
it's gonna
yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
It's gonna
yeah.
be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just kind of like a noise song. It's just
Yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
is no beginning, no end, just kind of just
Yes.
nonsense the whole time. Not in a bad way, but it's just kind of like, I guess
It's a
just
very
like
Yeah.
dense.
or
It's a very dense song, I'd say.
Yeah.
And you could say that about a bunch of the album, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot going on at once,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like a big, thick kind of soup, but it's not even like a soup. It's more like a fog.
Yes. Fog is a great word for it.
Um,
Absolutely.
I got told that it gave Silent Hill vibes.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Or like
Yeah,
I got like Half-Life vibes.
yeah.
Like that sort of
Also
like
got
muddy
um,
industrial.
it got compared to Halo 3 as well.
Okay.
oh yeah.
A lot of video games. Um
Hmm.
I felt like this one was sort of like the destination. Like if Dreamland was a train leaving a station, this was the destination. The like the totally warped, just horrid landscape, and like it's like it had that sample and that voice again, but this one was so much more haunting and like hard to hear and make out. So it felt really fitting in the structure of the album as like the closing, the destination. This is where you end up. You end up in hell with the devil. No, it was really really like a very like satisfying, and absolutely I think it's a dense album. I think it rewards more like multiple listens so you can pick out different aspects of the song. Like I mean you were saying you were playing literal pots and pans, but I think I was so focused on like other elements of the song that it like barely even clicked with me. So like hearing like your context of how like how these songs were created, and just like how much has gone into these songs, I can't wait to listen to it again all the way through, and just take it all in again, and like hear like an entirely different album almost with how much has gone into this one.
Cool, dude. Yeah, I think that song has become more of a statement than anything. Of just like, I guess I'm not sure if I mean, I think Dakota stands with it, um, but for me, it's like Patchwork is and like our kind of philosophy on music is just um, that's a weird way of putting it. I guess it's just like this album is not gonna wrap up how you wanted it to. You know what I mean?
This is
Like,
not the way out.
I suppose you could say that. Um, like it's not like, I guess when you hear stuff like Killing Time and you hear stuff like Just One,
Hmm.
it's kind of melodic. It's
Yes.
melodic, or it's got like a good hook or something like that.
Yeah.
You want something like maybe beautiful, or like really, really like kind of in depth in like a
Like
songwriting
closure.
way.
Yeah.
Like a
Closure.
cathartic moment.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is the opposite of that. This is like more confusion, and it's just pure fucking sound collage. It's
Yes.
pure noise.
Yes.
And it's just not, this is a cliche thing to say, but it's unforgiving. It's really
Right.
it's like the beat, I guess, kind of just like drives it forward. So there's not, and then you kind of just crash into a wall at the end.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of like a slow resolve, it's just like fuck you. This is harsh noise. There's no, even though there's no key, there's no BPM.
Yes.
This is just noise, and
Yeah.
This is how the album's ending.
Uh-huh.
So to me, it's like a statement. That's just like kind of that's how I like to think about things.
Yeah. And I think
right.
Sorry, I think like the most clear part of that statement is when the sample comes the most clear into focus on the entire song. Like the one that I heard the most clear was when the guy said the devil. Like I forget what he said after that, but it like made it feel like yes, yeah. It made it feel like this song is pure evil and it's not here for you. This is the devil we're talking about. Like yeah. I totally agree. Sorry, Dakota, if you had a thought, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, you're good. I wasn't saying anything.
okay.
But kind of the way I see the song is like, I think it's the perfect way to close the album. A lot of like what Ethan said about how it's just unforgiving and it just comes at you and it keeps coming at you.
Yes.
And it's a very dense song. But I think it just kind of builds up thematically and it's everything the album's building towards. It just, you said at the beginning, like Entry is the epitome of Patchwork. But I'd say The Devil is more so.
Yeah. I was speaking
It's very
maybe
much
a little too soon for that.
the album is.
Yes. I agree, but I think the point is a lot of this sounds like Patchwork. I think a lot of this has a very clear DNA of what both of you are bringing to this project. And it like you have such a unique sound right out of the gate, and like major props to you guys for that. And for having like the confidence to really put yourself out there with all of these like playing with song structures, putting 7-minute songs that don't have a resolution as the closing to the album, like really having the confidence to make that statement. I think I'm really glad that you guys made this artwork. I'm glad that like it was shown on my stream and that I had a chance to listen to this, and I'm like beyond glad that the three of us were able to get on a call and talk about this. This was such a like sick listening experience, and really like thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We really
This has been
appreciate
awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. No, so I think let's I think that's a good closer then. I don't know, do you guys have any socials that you want to pitch, or I should have thought of like how to like end this better, but
let me look.
Ethan's about to pull up all of the Eraser socials.
yes. Yeah.
Right.
Everybody should check out Eraser for sure. Like I was digging through some of your old stuff that's on Bandcamp, and it's old. I know you guys are like less than a year old now, but
our home base is like Instagram pretty much. We don't like that's like our main social media. Patchwork.x. Go follow. Also, I think it's still the website is still Eraser Record.
Yeah, we're still Eraser Records on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.com. Yeah, go check out the stuff we've put out. Let me see. Here we go. Yeah. We put out all of our fun
we've got a
projects.
bunch of music
hell
on
yeah.
Yeah, we put out actually I'll tell you some of my favorite ones. Saying Goes Without Saying by Bastard Ash.
Very
Super
good
underrated.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
Amazing. Fucking yeah.
Big
our
shout out
comps
to
are good.
the Pins and Needles split that Ethan did with Atria.0. Really, really awesome stuff there. I was listening to it before the stream started. Just so good.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I
And
mean,
we got big things coming in the future. Just
we have
making
all
sure
good
we're watching out
stuff.
for that.
hell yeah.
We have all good stuff. All of our stuff's good. Yeah.
Excellent. No, I believe it. Yeah, and I gotta dig deeper into you guys'
You should.
the discography of Eraser.
For sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, no, guys, thanks so much for coming on. I think if
Thank you.
anybody should take anything away from this, it's that this album is I feel like I butchered it by pausing it so much in between songs. So go to their Bandcamp and listen to the song, buy it and listen to it all the way through. It's
Yeah, buy it.
it'll be an entirely different experience, I promise. It's
Give us money.
Yes, exactly. Give Patchwork money. They earned it with this album. This was so cool. And all the best to you guys. I hope that I hope you guys come out with new stuff soon, and we'll have you back on.
Shout out Loaf.
Loaf,
Shout out,
yes.
Will. He's the best.
Loaf. Yeah. I think
right.
I think we're good.
I
Cool.
think that's it.
All right.
All right.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex, for having us on. Yeah.
Anytime.
Great time.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a
Bye.
good night.
You too.
Bye. Thanks everyone.
Bye.